Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network. Welcome to Gun Sports Radio, all about shooting, hunting, self-defense, and more. Now, here are the hosts of Gun Sports Radio, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome. This is Gun Sports Radio right here on AM 1170. The Answer. Lance is out and about. Not quite sure where he's at, but does anybody know where he's at? He's Wyoming or someplace?
Yeah, goofing off somewhere.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's goofing off for sure. Somewhere. Hey, do us a favor. Go visit our website, gunsportsradio.com. You can also go to facebook.com/gunsportsradio. And we really, really, really want to thank Gun Range San Diego for all their support, 7853 Balboa Avenue. They've been with us since the beginning. 10 to 10, 7 days a week. They are the Nordstroms of gun ranges, just not the price. Go to gunrangesandiego.com for all of the specials, the deals, and, of course, Hollywood will be on here shortly.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be chatting as well. And don't forget, next week is our 100th show.
Ta-da.
And we're bringing Senator Joel Anderson in, so he'll be chatting with us. And we have a very, very, very special guest today. We got Richard Berwick, and he is from Cross Armory.
Great products.
Great to be on here again.
And by the way, you were nice enough to bring some hats and some crying towels. I don't know if we can find. Do we have any Democrats that we can give those to or something? I mean, is that what they're for?
We got some Democrats out there. You know, we had our, Mr. Myers that he's a Democrat, but is
you got your towel.
Believes in the Second Amendment. So but I'm sure there's a
whether
handful.
You're
a Republican or Democrat or whatever, and you don't like the fact that the Second Amendment is is number 2 for a reason. We got some towels to help dry your ears.
There you go. So how you doing, Michael? Michael Schwartz from San Diego Gun Owners of the lovely city of San Diego. How you doing, bud?
Fantastic. Couldn't be better.
How's your enrollment? I mean,
awesome.
What's your new number?
We're somewhere around 1,100. We actually yesterday
we're slowing down.
No, it's averaging like 2 members a day. It kind of ebbs and flows, but it's about 2 members a day. And we yesterday signed up 16 new members. The Discount Gun Mart had their grand opening for their training facility. And they let us put up a booth, which was very cool. And we were getting the word out about CCWs and San Diego County Gun Owners, and we ended up signing up 16 new members.
That's phenomenal.
Just yesterday, which was awesome.
If you ever need me to come in and sit and do the BS, I'll be more than happy to do it.
Awesome.
As long as it's just on a Saturday. I can't do Sundays, but I'm happy to do it on because yesterday was puppy day.
I'm pretty sure he's got the BS part covered.
No, but I'm better than he is. Well, no, we had puppy parties yesterday, and I would have just as soon been sitting with you.
Well, if you ever need somebody to go to a puppy party, give me a call.
Come to our puppy party.
We should have just traded places, right?
Anytime you like.
I'm really excited to have Richard here, though, because we're so close to the deadline.
And he makes some wonderful, quality, easy to use,
fix-it stuff
products that's going to help you comply with these new California laws before. I mean, we got literally 6 days.
Yep. I just had somebody ask me the other day, can I do it? Do I have to take it someplace? I said, you know what? If you tune in this Sunday at 4 o'clock, I got a guy that's going to answer the question. Richard, first off, tell us a little bit about Cross Armory. Why'd you start it? How long has it been doing it?
Yeah, sure. We started the company 2 years ago. And
you and your wife, right?
No, it's me and my business partner, Wes, who's the genius designer engineer. And he was talking with a bunch of buddies when Jerry Brown signed the law back in July 16. Mm-hmm. And his buddy said, hey, Wes, can't you invent something to get us, help us be compliant without, tearing the guns apart? And I ran into Wes about the same time. And he said, showed me what he would make. And I had a background. I had started a number of companies. And I said, well, gosh, Wes, you should start a company. And 6 months later, we ended up starting the company together.
You sound like me. You should do a radio show. This would be great. Let's do a radio show.
But what I was telling Michael a moment ago, what's so incredible to me, when we launched the company in February 2017, we had 2 products. Today we have 21.
Wow. Really? Now, what kind of products do you make?
A whole range of AR compliance products.
Okay.
So we cover all of the AR-15s in every model platform you can imagine. as well as all AR-10s, and we make the compliance piece as well as a number of convenience pieces. So the quick pins aren't compliance, but they sure do make using the new magazine locks a lot more convenient.
So when you guys make a component like what you have here on the table, which unfortunately, folks, you can't see, but I bet if you went to crossarmory.com, you could see anything and everything we're talking about. Once you build it, do you have to go to the DOD? Do you have to go in and say, this is what we built? Will you accept it?
You know, it's funny. I was talking to our gun lawyer a number of months back now, and about the compliance stuff. I said, should we take this up to DOJ in Sacramento?
Right.
So that when the agents show up in gun stores and see our stuff, everybody's going to know what it is.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
And our lawyer said, it's a waste of time. You can go up and talk to Sacramento all you want, but the people out in the field are never going to hear about it. They're not going to. They all make their decisions on the fly.
Right.
And it's funny because I was talking to a gun store owner just this week. So I visited 60 gun stores this week to show off our new products, and the guy said the same thing. It's like every DOJ agent that shows up in my store, you have to teach them about guns because none of them know anything about guns.
Yeah.
I've actually seen boilerplate letters from the DOJ asking, for a ruling on a product. Hey, we want to sell this. We want to make sure we're legal, that sort of thing. And the boilerplate letter basically says it's up to each of the 58 district attorneys across the state on whether or not they want to prosecute it and test it in court, which is ludicrous that the DOJ is not able to tell you what is and isn't legal.
So instead of sitting around and waiting for the DOJ to run your life, you guys just decided we're going to make a product that the end result is?
Well, the end result is we've sold about 15,000 of them since February 2017.
Right.
So clearly the market likes the product. And I've talked to a number of the gun store owners that carry our products who say their DOJ agents have been in, and the DOJ agents' main responsibility is to check paperwork.
Sure.
So you show them a gun and show them some new products, they probably don't even know what they're looking at. But I've had a number of gun store dealers say their DOJ agent's been in, looked at the demo gun they've got set up with our stuff on it, handed it back and said, looks good. So I think that's the best validation that we're meeting the letter of the law.
Right. So, and I guess my back end response to that was, people could feel rest assured that if they buy your product, there's a really good chance they're not going to have any problem with it.
Yeah, that's we're not.
You can't guarantee it because the DOJ won't talk to you. But I mean, at least they've looked at it and no one has thrown up a red flag.
And everybody should know, there is no process for getting a product approved by DOJ. They will not issue a letter.
Right.
You can't even apply to them to do that. There's no process for it.
Well, but they can get rid of it, though. They can do that. Yeah. They can get rid of it. That's easy.
Well, like every other business, you hire a bunch of lawyers, and everybody reads the law, and you come up with an opinion.
10 lawyers, 10 different opinions.
The law basically says you have to break open the action in order to change the magazine. And it's crystal clear that Cross Armory, that's exactly what your product helps them, allows them to do, is break open the AR's action easily with the pins. And then,
the rear pins, I have it on, I have a 5.56 and a 300 blackout, and they both have the Cross Armory break action on it. So you're shooting, you never have to even change your grip very much. You just move up your index finger and your thumb. You do a little pinch. The gun automatically opens. Magazine automatically drops. Close it again. But before that magazine hits the ground, I've already got another magazine in. And I hope nobody from the DOJ is listening, but it's a little faster.
I was just going to say
than a regular magazine release.
Really?
I mean, I'm back on target, quick, fast, and in a hurry. It's ridiculous how fast it is.
Interesting.
And Joe's a man who shot a gun before in his day.
Once or twice.
I've shot one or two.
He can hit a milk carton. I've seen him. So, if we went to the website crossarmory.com.
That's right.
Do you have videos that show all these different components?
Yeah, we've got videos that show all the components. There's some fun videos that we've done shooting outdoors, showing all the products. And there's also instructional videos, installation videos for every one of the products. Anybody can go online, watch the videos, and know how to do it themselves. All of the products come with the tools you need to install them, except for the castle nut wrench. We don't supply that.
Right.
But otherwise, you buy a set of Cross Armory quick pins, everything you need to install it's right there in the package.
Plus, you're only a phone call away if there's a problem.
We get calls all day long.
Well, of course. How do you open the package? I don't know how to get the box open.
We even show that in the install videos, how to open a package.
I hate to say it. Michael, did you have any trouble putting the buckle on your belt?
I did.
Thank you very much.
Last week, Lance.
Thank you very much.
I had Lance. He gave me the tutorial.
Did you see how simple it was?
Yeah,
but the drawing on the box did not. Don't even get me started. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. Hey, we got John Dillon on the line. He is sitting here waiting patiently to come on and tell us anything and everything you want to know. Hey, and don't forget Trident Gunsmithing. These guys are amazing. TridentGunsmithing.com. TridentGunsmithing.com. These guys will take care of all your hunting needs. If you want to be a hunter, want to learn how to cook, even clean your game, they can do it all at Trident Gunsmithing. Just go to TridentGunsmithing.com. All right, we're going to take a small break. When we come back, John Dillon in the phone right here on Gun Sports Radio. Stay tuned. Right here on AM 1170, The Answer. Hey, the July 1st deadline is fast approaching for all those AR-15 owners out there. You'd better get your act together and get your weapon system California compliant. And the only place I'd recommend is CrossArmory.com for all of the parts to make your AR-15 or AR-10 compliant. That's Cross Armory. Just go to CrossArmory.com for the best and easiest use on how to put this thing together. And if you don't know how to do it, they'll help you. They'll take a phone call. They got videos. They even have a video show you how to open the box, okay? Because Joe could not figure out how to open the box. So we sent him to the video.
Story. So just like Lance, we took ours to Gun Range San Diego, and Alex Johns, one of our armors over there, he has done these things so many times because there is a little it comes with different shims, I guess you'd call it, that go between the castle nut and the receiver. And so based on how your weapon fits and yada, 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 it depends on what shim you use. And Alex has done this so many times over there. He's knocking these things out in, just a couple of minutes. He can get that thing on there and get your weapon compliant.
Take you an hour.
Yeah, I gave mine to Alex. I
told you.
Took
you an hour. CrossArmory.com, folks. CrossArmory.com. Hey, we got our good buddy John Dillon in the house. Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance LLP. Just go to cafirearmslaw.com, cafirearmslaw.com. You can ask him any kind of question that you want, and he is definitely on your side. How you doing there, John?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What are you up to?
Just sitting on the radio talking to you guys.
Because what I got down for topic is question mark. Well,
I think the topic's going to be pretty obvious. With the deadline that is coming up. I believe we now have 6 days, 7 hours, and 45 minutes, or something along those lines. If you want to go and check out the literal countdown to the second, the DOJ has, that up on their firearms page. You can see how long it's going to be till your rights are taken away.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah, It's almost as if they're mocking the gun owners in California. But, we do have the assault weapon registration period is ending. It's going to be in 6 days. It's June 30th, 2018 by 11:59 p.m. So don't wait. I know I'll say this again. Do not wait to register if that's what you're going to do. But people are still going to wait till the last possible second to register their guns. So you can go to the CFARS registration website. It's cfars.doj.ca.gov, and that's where you can do the online registration for any so-called assault weapon. And I just checked on their website. They are actually offering email registration because I have no faith that their website won't crash on the 30th, and I'm probably going to crash a couple days before that, just from the amount of people going onto it. And it seems that the DOJ has already, is thinking along the same lines. So they are offering email registration, so you can email the DOJ at awr@doj.ca.gov to take care of your registration. And I guess they will have people manning those email accounts up until 11:59 on the 30th.
Well, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but before they extended the deadline 6 months, they came out with this big deal saying, hey, there's no excuse for not getting your weapon registered. So there's no excuse that the website was busy. There's no excuse that you were out of town. There's no excuse that your computer died. So is that is that still the case? So no matter what, whether their website crashes or not,
you have to get your application at least submitted. If there are problems, so a lot of people who have attempted to register their weapons, it's because the DOJ is requiring digital photographs and multiple digital photographs.
4, I think.
A lot of times you'll get an email back from the DOJ saying this photograph isn't sufficient, retake, the picture of the firearm on this side. And so the way that, they're claiming this is going to work, as long as you've made the submission before the deadline, you're going to be okay. And if there are things that need to be taken care of afterwards, like, resending in another photograph, you just got to make sure that you go ahead and you take care of that, because if you submit an assault weapon registration and then for some reason, the picture wasn't right, or you put the wrong, date down, and they don't accept the application and they request, you to revise it, this comes in an email. It might go into your junk email, your spam. So if you don't see these emails and it lapses after a certain amount of time, I believe it's 30 days, they will reject your registration. So if you get to that point where they reject your registration, well, now you have an assault weapon past the deadline. And so that puts you in hot water for possession of assault weapon. It's not good to do that in California. So this is the time to really pay attention, check your email daily, search in your junk mail, search in your spam, just in case, to make sure you're not missing any communications from the DOJ.
Well, now, if
John,
wait a minute. Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, no, go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead, Joe.
If it's if I read it correctly, you need a full left side photo, a full right side photo of the firearm, plus a photo of the serial number close up, plus a photo of the bullet button area close up. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's the left and right side of the receiver, including a picture of the bullet button and the serial number, and then full-length photographs of the firearm.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
So one thing I get asked, I don't really recommend. I try to give information, like, here are a few options. There are a number of manufacturers that make really great products. Like we have one here, Cross Armory. But when people ask, they want to know, okay, once I register it, what have I opened myself up to? And as an attorney, as you understand it, what is a person, when they sign on the dotted line and register their AR, what have they agreed to as far as giving up their Fourth Amendment rights or privacy and that sort of thing?
Well, you're not giving up any of your Fourth Amendment rights. It doesn't give them any leeway to just, walk into your house and go through your stuff. But, you are registering this firearm. You're registering by how it looks, and they're going to have photographs of it. So, if, in California, if more laws are passed where they further restrict possession of certain firearms, it may lead to a letter being sent to your house saying you have this many days to turn in your firearms. And I know that sounds really weird, but that's something they did in Hawaii.
Well,
and Connecticut, I think.
And Connecticut,
yeah. And they've done it in multiple states for multiple reasons, but people get a letter saying you have this many days to turn in your firearm. If you don't do so, that's a felony.
We're going to come get you. How is that going to affect? How is that going to affect California when we split up 3 ways?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's going to be a whole other can of worms.
You're going to need to add on to your law firm.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm going to have to take the bar 2 more times.
You got to take the bar 2 more times.
Yeah,
hey, I got a question,
I don't know
John.
if they're just going to let that transfer over.
Now, I've purchased more than one firearm in the state of California, and it's nobody's business how many more than one.
That's right.
But as it stands right now, if I move, if I, change residences or whatever, that's just fine. There's no laws that I have to tell anybody. However, now if I decide to register my firearm before the 1st, one of my, my AR, my single only one I have.
Right.
If I decide to not make it compliant, if I decide to take my wonderful Cross Armory compliant gear off of it and register it, now, when I move in the future, do I have to let anybody know? Is that how it works?
No, you don't have to notify, if you're moving or changing an address. That doesn't require anything. If you're leaving the state, you just take your guns and go to a more free area.
Yeah,
well, that brings up another point, that if you do leave the state and decide to come back, even though that gun was registered, it can never come back in the state. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. If you take
that's how I read it.
No longer can import it back in, and so, to be honest, if you're going to be moving out of the state, I would deregister it and then move it out, because you can change the features and then apply to deregister it. Okay. Personally, I just wouldn't want my gun on a list, even if it's in another state.
My point exactly.
Well, the other options, we're talking about all the registration. There are non-registration options where you're still legal. And there's 2 options. It's either fixed magazine route or the featureless route. And Cross Armory has developed some amazing products that comply with the letter of the law. And, there's no strong argument against their products. But you got to make sure that there's so many products out there, new products being made every day. Just the general concern and the thing that you got to make sure, if you're going to go down this route, you have to make sure the products you're using, they disassemble the firearm action before the magazine can be removed. And that means you're separating the upper and lower enough to where the gun cannot fire.
While changing that.
If I can pull the trigger and that hammer can make contact with the firing pin, even if there is separation between the receivers, that's a good argument that this gun's action is not disassembled. Wow. If I can make it go bang, that's a problem. So make sure with whatever products you're buying and putting on your firearm and, at whatever configuration, just really pay attention to, how your gun functions.
Just buy Cross Armory. Just buy Cross Armory and quit screwing around. Hey, I got a question before you leave. You're going to love this. Okay. So I want to get my real ID because my birthday's in July or August. I'll tell you the birth date so you can send me a really nice gift like a Tesla 3.
Tesla.
Because his is going to fall apart here in another week or 2. Here's my question. So I went on the website and I got my appointment so I can go down and I downloaded, all the junk that I have to do to get real ID. Are you ready for this? My birthday is August 10th.
Uh-huh. My
soonest appointment is August 20th.
Yep. So you're going to be walking around without an ID for 10 days.
Yeah, you got them.
So
invalid for 10 days.
Here's my deal. I made a packet of all the stuff that I got from DMV, and it's going to be with me for the rest of my life, or at least till I get a new license. If I get pulled over with a driver's license that's expired because I'm waiting for my appointment, will I still get a ticket?
Shouldn't be driving without
I'm calling the cops.
ID.
Jeez Louise, I have to call Uber.
I'm calling Veronica's husband right now.
That's it. He's going to drive me. Hey, I'd get Lance in his big old tuna boat. Hey, John, thank you very much. Tell people how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, it's cafirearmslaw.com or 760-431-9501.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks a lot. You're the best. We're going to take a small break. When we come back, we got a whole lot more right here on Gun Sports Radio. folks. Welcome back, Gun Sports Radio. Man, you're going to see this whatever this thing is.
Double stack.
Double stack. How do you get it apart?
It's locked. You gotta know the secret code.
I don't want to know the secret code. Last time I know the secret code, I ended up in the Army for 3 years. How trippy is this?
So it's a way to connect. So on both sides of that, what Dave's holding, there's two
magazines,
2 10-round magazines for an AR that are coupled so that they're basically butt plate to butt plate, and you can change your
or nut to butt, like we say in the military.
You can change your magazine quicker.
Yeah, he broke it.
Yeah, so these products, the Double Stack is our newest product line. As Michael described, it will lock 2 magazines, 2 10-round magazines together at the end plates. So you're still legal. You have to remove the one magazine to insert the second.
But it's just turn it upside down?
Yeah, well, I like to say keep the second magazine closer.
I like that.
And we will have them commercially available in the middle of the month. But in the last 2 weeks, I've visited 100 gun stores up and down the state, handing out samples to the gun store owners so that they can start showing them to customers. They'll be available mid-July. And it doesn't solve any of the world's problems, but it's a really fun product to use. We've been using it for about 5 months now, and
they are slick looking too.
They're
very clean.
Not bulky.
Yeah, they're not. They're very clean. It makes the entire system look very professional, like it was designed from the manufacturer.
Right.
I mean, they are very, very cool.
And we've got them. So we made the one that gets the most interest is for Magpul 10-round magazines. So you can connect 2 10-round AR mags together. But we also make them for most of the major brands of pistol. So Glock, and it covers all of the Glocks except the 10 millimeters and 45s. XD, Springfield XDs, Beretta 92s, CZ75s, M&P Shields, and we even make one for the Ruger LCP, which Californians are not allowed to have, but the rest of the country buys them by the thousands every year.
How about you got a SIG? A SIG mate?
We will have a SIG.
Okay.
And just for the 2.2 line of products. So we're not going to do the 22.
229, yeah.
But
the real SIGs.
That's
I don't want your hate mail. I know you're SIG. I know it's plastic and it's real. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Don't hate me.
How dare you?
Well, anyway, this is your segment. But before I do that, hey, you guys, you're here. You hear us talking about the importance of having a great company like Firearms Legal Protection. Well, do you or any of your family members own a weapon for personal protection? What would you do if you got yourself into a little bit of a jam? Well, I tell you what, Firearms Legal Protection can take care of you for $10 a month. Go to firearmslegal.com, firearmslegal.com, or you can call them at 469-310-9100. They will hook you up, and you guys can be rest assured your family will be safe as a bunny. All right, this is Gun Range San Diego segment with Hollywood. Gun Range San Diego, the Nordstroms of gun ranges. You can't beat them with a stick.
Yeah, so we got some great sales coming up for 4th of July from the that whole time from the 4th through the weekend. We're going to be selling all of our range guns. So what we do is we get our range guns. They come through the manufacturers on their program, and then what we do is when they have X amount of rounds to them, we've been holding on to these things. We send them back to the manufacturer. They get rebarreled, resprung, whatever they need. And then we sell them as a used gun, and we're going to have some phenomenal sales. You're going to be able to get a CZ SP01 for under $500. I know, lose your mind right now.
All right.
Same thing for the Beretta 92. We're going to have Glocks. We're giving away Glocks basically under $400. We're giving away Glocks that have been refurbished, and they've been used on the range, but they get refurbished before we put them out there. So we're doing that through the weekend. 5% off of all other firearms. Sales on apparel, optics, everything you can even imagine and think of. From the 4th to the 7th, you got to come in there, hang out. And if you're there on the 4th, you get the better deals. And if you're a member, you get to come in half an hour early and get
the pick of the litter.
They get the pick of the litter. Absolutely right. So we're going to open our doors on the 4th. instead of 10, we're going to open the doors at 9:30 a.m. for members only to come in and get first choice, first serve, all that stuff. It's going to be great.
So don't tell Lance.
That's awesome.
I went in today, and there's a couple of guns in the sitting there with Lance's name on them in the back already. That guy.
How many? I didn't even know. Like, how many guns are in your fleet? Basically, how? Like,
well, we keep about 80 guns in the fleet, and then about 60 are available for rent at any time because we rotate them in and out so much for cleaning and that kind of thing. You know, we do our own inspections on them, regardless. So. At any given time, there's about 60 different guns that you can rent there at Gun Range San Diego, and we're going to be selling as many as we can get. We've been holding on to them for a while just for this sale, so we've got them refurbished. We're waiting to get them all on the shelf and out to our members and to our other folks, and it's going to be a blowout sale. It's going to be amazing.
I got to come down and take because you remember I keep wanting to get my wife a little revolver.
Yep. Oh, we got a 4.42 down there that'll blow your mind.
And you already rebuilt it and put new white wall tires on it?
Brand new. Well,
I'll just get something out of the old rental fleet. You know me, I got no money. I work here. Are you kidding?
I know how that goes.
Give me some
rebuilders. My Instagram is Jose Holyfield because I was too lazy when I made the account to spell out Joseph.
Yeah.
So it's Jose Holyfield on Instagram.
You don't want to watch that, folks. I'm telling you. You do not want to watch that.
It's at Jose Holyfield. So I put out a post today, and I showed my personal, beautiful M1, M14.
That's what you brought in today.
Yeah, I brought it in today.
Which I'm taking home. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we'll arm wrestle over it.
Hey, dude, I'm way older than you. You don't even you weren't even around when I had that thing.
So. The post mentioned this M1A is going to be more accurate than most M1As out there. And I was, I got some questions on what makes it that way. And my answer was always, hey, tune into the show.
Yeah, it says right here, what makes this Springfield Armory M1A more accurate than most? All right.
There you go. And so the reason that one is more accurate than most is because it has been what's called glass bedded. Now, people come into gun stores and they hear that term and they don't, and they shake their head and nod. But I've been asked more than once, hey, what's this mean when something's been glass bedded? What's it mean when it's been glass bedded? So what happens is we take the action apart, we take the action out of the stock, and we use fiberglass. It's a type of fiberglass that we put in the stock, and it tightens the space between the stock and the receiver. And what that does is it accurizes the rifle because you get less movement between shots. Now, back in the day, they believed that you had to accurize the entire length of the gun. You've seen the old infields and things like that, even muskets where the wood goes all the way to the end of the barrel with a big metal band because they believed that would make the rifle more accurate. But what we've learned, as we've come along with our technology, is a barrel's flex. And we used to think, oh, this barrel flex is bad. We got to reduce it. But actually, you want what's called barrel harmonics. So the barrel flexing is actually a good thing. You want the barrel to do what the barrel does naturally. What you want is for the receiver to be locked down and not move between shots. And that's going to help you with your consistent accuracy from shot to shot. So glass bedding does just that. It solidifies the receiver into the stock and keeps it from moving between shots, so it makes it more accurate over and over again. Now, there are some guns out there that you just can't glass bed. It's just they're not made to do that. Or let's say you have a bolt action style rifle, and they are what's called lugged. And if you got a bolt action rifle at home, you want to take it apart, you'll see that just the receiver, not off the barrel, but just the receiver, the part that holds your bolt and the round, that's going to have a little loop that comes down and sits into your actual stock, and that's called a lug. Well, if you want your rifle really accurate, you'll get it what's called double lugged. So you'll get two of those that sit down in the receiver. Then you can even glass bed around that, and it's going to make it even more accurate, which is why, single shots like bolt actions and things like that are a lot more accurate inherently than semi-autos. but they're all more accurate than I am.
So where do you get two questions? Where do you get this done, and what's the actual material?
It's actual. It's a type of fiberglass, and it's. I'll pull it out here.
Yeah, you got to talk. Oh, yeah.
Got to talk, yep. So we, have a clear and safe weapon, of course. And on these M14s, if you ever taken one apart, or M1As, you know that once you pull the trigger housing group out, you get that thing out of there, these things just come right apart. But this one here, I'm taking it, I'm shaking it, I'm beating it on my leg, on the counter here, and it's just not coming apart. I have to really muscle this thing apart to get the barrel and receiver off of the stock. Now, if you look in the stock there, you'll see that there is this colored material.
Yeah, it looks like
that's not wood, and what that is exactly fiberglass. And so everything sits in a lot tighter. It's a lot smoother, and it keeps that locked in there, and just makes your weapon inherently more accurate.
Very cool.
And that's just how it works.
Very cool.
Yeah, interesting. What does that cost to have that done?
It depends on your gunsmith and your armor. I know the guys over at Trident Gunsmithing can do it for sure. Juan and Dan over there, who've been big proponents of the show, of course. Mm-hmm. And this one here was done for me when I left the Marine Corps shooting team. I was a shooter for a year, and then I was the shooting team coach for a year. And when I left, that was their present to me. I turned my M14 in to get demilled so it could be turned back in so I could take it home, and they turned it back in. They gave it back to me in this beautiful wooden stock.
It's beautiful.
That has been glass bedded.
It's beautiful. Mine looked like that too when I was in Korea. If you believe that, I got property but no, I wish it looked that good.
You just need a compass in the stock.
I need my Red Rider compass.
Yeah, where is your Red Rider compass?
Exactly. But, if you have any questions on how to get your rifle more accurate, anything that you want to do to become a better shooter, to improve your weapon system, come down to Gun Range San Diego. You can talk to me, you can talk to Alex, you can talk to any of the guys down there, and they'll help you get your weapon taken care of.
All right, folks. Hey, we're going to take a small break. When we come back, I don't know what we're going to do. I have to read this 7-page dissertation. I think it's all about Michael Schwartz.
We're going to talk more about Cross Armory and their cool products.
Right here on AM 1170, The Answer.
I think we ought to get
AM 1170, The Answer.
Radio right here on AM 1170, The Answer. Hey, folks, do you or any of your family members keep a firearm or a weapon for personal protection? Well, do you have or are you going to get a CCW? What are you going to do if you ever get involved in an incident? Say you get pulled over, somebody looks into your car, and you have a firearm. What do you plan to do? How are you going to pay for bail? What are you going to do for the expensive lawyer fees? Well, hey, for $10 a month, you can go to firearmslegal.com, and they will take care of all your headaches. For $10 a month, you'll have peace of mind knowing a 24-hour hotline and legal representation is waiting for you and your family. Firearms Legal Protection, that's www.firearmslegal.com, firearmslegal.com, or you can call them at 469-310-9100. Hey, we got a special guest on the line. Yeah, we got a special guest on the line, Paul Lichtenstein from San Diego Tactical Shooters Club. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing wonderful. Well, Lance isn't here today, so he probably knows more about you and your group than we do. So why don't you fill in the listeners?
Sure. San Diego Tactical Shooters is an IDPA organization. That's the International Defensive Pistol Association group of like-minded shooters, and we follow the standard IDPA rules and regulations for our matches. In fact, we have matches every second and fourth Saturday of the month at Paula. There's a range up at Paula. So if you wanted to find us, just go on to SanDiegoTacticalShooters.com or IDPA.org and look up San Diego Tactical Shooters. Or if you want, I can give you my phone number after we're done, and they can call me.
So, what do people find when they come to the San Diego Tactical Shooters Club? What will they expect to see, and what will they be able to do?
Well, you and Lance shot with us up at Lemon Grove, which was a different style of shooting I won't get into, but at San Diego Tactical Shooters, you'll find a good bunch of solid citizens, good people, and regardless of your proficiency or what you think your proficiency is with a handgun, we will guide you through the safe handling and use of that gun. Now, IDPA, the premise of IDPA is to shoot from concealment, which means you have I just heard your commercial about a concealed carry permit, so it assumes that you're carrying concealed, and we set up stages for real-life situations. We shoot 6 stages. We say it's real life. It is a game, obviously, but we try and make the simulation as real as possible. So you're always shooting from a concealed garment, and you're moving, and you have to shoot specific targets at specific locations around barriers, etc. So it's a very challenging course, I'll tell you that. It's a lot of fun, too.
That is the cool thing about IDPA is that, of course, like you said, it's a game, but it's as close to practical as you can possibly make it, because it really is, from what I've seen and experienced, an attempt to make people better at pulling from concealment, getting on target in a real-world situation, and they've taken some of the rules are set up in IDPA that they've taken away the ability to game the system. You can't miss so fast that you win. It's still accurate. You still have to do the right thing, and IDPA particularly is very impressive that way.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's based on with accuracy comes speed. You'll get that later, but the main premise is the biggest premise. The first premise is safe handling of your handgun. That's the big thing. Safety is paramount. When we shoot, me being a range safety officer and several of our club members are range safety officers, we get IDPA certified as a range safety officer, and we're also NRA certified as a range safety officer. And so we are glued to the shooter as the shooter makes his or her way through the course. And we do have a lot of women that come regularly and enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So it's a sport for all of us. It's not just a man-only macho thing. It's, we want to teach people how to safely handle their handguns. That's really the prime thing. Right. And to be able to defend themselves should, God forbid, should that situation arise.
Right. Now, do you know John Batista? He shoots up there with you guys sometime up in Pala.
Oh, John is an awesome shooter.
Isn't he great? Yeah. Yeah, he's like Gun Range San Diego is like that's his home range, and he hosts the USPSA shoots down there every Sunday. So you got one Sunday a month anyway. So you got to come down and check us out and shoot with us down there. But I want to know how Lance was shooting.
You don't want to know.
I want to hear how Lance was shooting. No,
you don't want to hear that. He's not here. He can't defend himself. But there's 3 dead ducks, a dead chicken, and a hole in the wall. But other than that, he's getting better.
Lance shot safely.
I like that's perfect.
That's funny. It sounds like even if he was here, he wouldn't be able to defend himself.
Throw your website out one more time.
It's idpa.org. For those who are unfamiliar with IDPA, if they want to learn about what it takes to shoot that course, the equipment, the rules, idpa.org. Our website would be SanDiegoTacticalShooters.com. All one word, SanDiegoTacticalShooters.com.
All right, Paul. Well, hey, thank you very much for taking time out of your Sunday. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to hearing more stories about Paul or about Lance.
About Lance? Why don't you guys come and join us at Pala in a couple of weeks and sample the IDPA type style shooting?
All right, buddy. We'll definitely give that a shot. Thanks a lot, buddy. Take care.
Hey, thank you for what you're doing for broadcasting our shooting sports. I appreciate that.
Hey, we enjoy it, and we're going to continue to do it as long as we can. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Hey, folks, are you ready for the deadline that's coming up? Guess what? It's right around the corner. You got to get your AR-15 all straightened out. Well, guess what? Cross Armory is in the house. You can go to crossarmory.com for all the parts to make your AR-15 or AR-10 compliant. That's www.crossarmory.com for the best and easiest way to put it together. In fact, we got the big dog in the house talking about it. Again, kind of run over some of the products that you have available to help these AR-15 and 10 owners.
Yeah, we get a lot of calls from folks who obviously aren't lawyers and perhaps are having trouble understanding what Sacramento means. The only compliance piece is the magazine lock, and ours is called Safe Mag. There are 4 different Safe Mags. All of them do exactly the same thing. They lock the magazine in the well until you separate the receivers. Yeah. That's what the law requires, as John was describing a moment ago.
Okay.
With the Safe Mag products, as soon as you separate the receivers, the magazine is released, so it falls free. There's no button to push. There's no button at all on the Safe Mag.
Well, there's a stock lock, too, that you guys have.
Stock lock we made for the featureless folks that want to go featureless. So one of the featureless aspects is to have a fixed stock. Most of us with ARs have a movable stock. Stock lock clamps onto the buffer tube and keeps the buttstock from moving. We don't make a grip wrap or the paddle that sits behind your pistol grip. But we do make something so you don't have to swap out your stock entirely. You keep your buttstock and slap a stock lock on there to fix it.
Because this has opened up a whole new boutique industry. These laws, these AR. Assault weapons laws and the expansion. But there's a lot of really cool. I honestly haven't been to your website in a while, and I'm just looking through your catalog right now. And the pin that protects the front pin on your AR, because that's going to get a lot more use. Most people take it apart, take your AR apart to clean it, but now it's acting as it's the fulcrum, right, for opening up your AR. And and you have it. Tell them what it does. So the other products, as Michael had described a moment ago, is Quick Pins is our quick release rear takedown pin. You squeeze the paddles. It's the pins retract from the gun, so fully retract from the receiver and allow the 2 receivers to separate completely, as John was mentioning when he spoke. We make a front takedown pin. The gun was never intended to be pivoted on that front takedown pin, and as a result, you've got a standard steel pin in your aluminum receivers. All that opening and closing your gun, the steel pin will cause the receivers to wear. That hole opens up, the gun becomes sloppy and less accurate. Pin Pal, it has a bearing that you press into the upper receiver, and a steel pin that locks it together so it never wears out.
CrossArmory.com, folks. You need to go check them out. Hey, we want to thank all our sponsors: San Diego County Gun Owners, the Gun Range San Diego, CAFirearmsLaw.com, FirearmsLegal.com, Trident Gunsmithing, CrossArmory.com, last but not least. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you tell your friends, family, and relatives about this show, because we are here to protect your rights and your Second Amendment rights right here on AM 1170, The Answer.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.